morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday morning celebration. And to those out in internet land, hello. You may notice on the program today that all of the chants are to Krishna. And that's because this week, millions of people around the world will be celebrating Krishna Janmashtami, which is the appearance day or the birthday of Krishna. So I thought we'd do Krishna chants. So let's begin with Gopala Gopala Devaki Nandana.
Hello, everyone. Just take a moment. I was just pausing and going, oh, wow. Just take a moment and how wow it is to be here in this spiritual place with a spiritual community. Jai Ma, thank you. So, hello, let's get started with this gathering of devotees with prayer. Beloved Lord, Divine Mother and Father, everyone is your child. I am your child. Thank you for this life. And its so many blessings. Bless Ramakrishna Ananda. May his health be perfect. Bless all parts of the Yoga Center and Spiritual World Society. Bless this community of devotees.
Bless this community of devotees.
May we be a blessing to each other.
May we be a blessing to each other
and to the world.
and to the world.
Lord,
Lord,
in this moment,
in this moment,
move in the consciousness of all people.
move in the consciousness of all people.
Lift us up.
Lift us up.
Move us toward our higher selves.
Move us towards our higher selves.
Guide us to peace, harmony, and appreciation.
Guide us to peace, harmony, and appreciation.
May all who make decisions that affect others
May all who make decisions that affect others
give up greed
give up greed
and seek what is best for all.
and seek what is best for all.
Love us to love you more.
Love us to love you more.
Amen.
Krishna
I read the program during the week getting ready for this, and I'm like, oh boy, Amazing Grace. That was a real treat. It was.
A little bit different.
I like it. It was fun. Okay. Let's join together and say one of the affirmations of the Spiritual World Society's ideas, speaking to our own hearts and lives and the hearts and lives of humanity.
All people are spiritual beings, individual expressions of the divine. Each person is called in his or her own way to make mind and body subtle enough to attune with the soul and with the Lord.
Now, official welcome to the Sunday morning celebration of the Spiritual World Society, and here we are. We're blessed once again be together to acknowledge and to celebrate Spirit, and the fact that it's all Spirit and everybody you see is Spirit. So, first question is: anybody having a birthday? See, we're not supposed to call people out, but I was going to call her out if she didn't. Let's see, which three would you like? It's for Parvati and Dasra. They usually, the three of them are together for birthdays now. But we get to see Trini on her birthday day. It's her birthday day. So, happy birthday. All right, anybody else now that we've done Trini? Okay, then let's see who signed in. Let us know they're here online with us.
Kamali Devi,
Kamali Devi,
Mirabai,
Mirabai,
Prabhamitra and Radhika,
Prabhamitra and Radhika,
Raj and Shambhadi,
Raj and Shambhadi,
Arya,
Arya,
Yogeshwara.
Yogeshwara. Welcome all of you. And anybody who didn't sign in, you're welcome to. So, thinking of those people and holding them in our hearts, let's pronoun my soul, thou's your soul to each other.
Please take your offering in your right hand and pray with me. Beloved Lord, Father and Mother of us all.
Beloved Lord, Father and Mother of us all.
Bless us to realize your loving presence and constant care.
Bless us to realize your loving presence and constant care.
Bless us to know that you are the source of all our good.
Bless us to know that you are the source of all our good.
Bless us to give to your work with joyous and generous hearts.
Bless us to give to your work with joyous and generous hearts.
Bless us to live abundant lives in your divine spirit.
Bless us to live abundant lives in your divine spirit.
Amen.
Krishna,
Okay, what's happening? What's happening is next week on the 17th we get to have a puja. This is a puja to Sri Ramakrishna, celebrating the fact that he took birth and came and left us so many amazing teachings and blessings before he left the body. And here we are. Then, on the 24th, well, let's start with the 23rd. The 23rd, we have a kirtan at 7 with Swami Nirvananda. And the next morning, he'll be here to share with us at Sunday morning celebration. I know we were expecting a Swami this morning, but he wasn't able to come, and the plan is to reschedule that in the not too distant future. You get newsletters. You get one on Thursday from Spiritual World Society, one on Saturday from the Yoga Center with lots of information about whatever you are wondering about this place and what's going on. So check your emails. There's also, as you all know, Yoga World, a fountain, a font, as they say, of wisdom and insights. Just waiting for you to click and put in there a subject, or just click on something and go, oh, I remember him talking about that. Or, wow, this sounds totally new to me. So enjoy it. Make use of it. Now we've got some spiritual readings. I have two. On your program at the top, there's a reading that's very lovely. So when you have a moment, you might just enjoy that one too. And I was tempted to read it, but I thought, no, they can read themselves. They probably learned to read before they even went to elementary school. All right, this one is from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, from a book written by Charles Johnston. Union, spiritual consciousness, is gained through control of the versatile psychic nature. The goal is full consciousness of the spiritual man, illumined by the divine light. Nothing except the obdurate resistance of the psychic nature keeps us back from this goal. The psychical powers are spiritual powers run wild, perverted, drawn from their proper channel. Therefore, our first task is to regain control of this perverted nature, to chasten, purify, and restore the misplaced powers. Then, the seer comes to consciousness in his proper nature. Egotism is but the perversion of spiritual being. Ambition is the inversion of spiritual power. Passion is the distortion of love. The mortal, the mortal is a limitation of the immortal. I read that note. The mortal is the limitation of the immortal. When these false images give to true, then the spiritual man stands forth luminous as the sun when the clouds disperse. The spiritual man stands forth luminous as the sun when the clouds disperse. And now, this was from Corinthians in the New Testament. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. And now, if you would like to stand, we'll do the threefold on. And in doing this, we're harmonizing body, mind, and spirit to be more available. Inhale. And again. And once more. Make yourselves comfortable. Today's video, the one we're going to see this morning, is titled Developing the Eyes of a Yogi. It's actually two, so there's going to be a little break in between. They're both short, but putting together was going to be rolling a rock up a hill. So we decided that we wouldn't do that. Basically what it's saying is that through the practice of yoga, we learn to look at life, at the world, through our senses, eyes we see. And we're looking, and while if we're practicing yoga, and we are at the same time centered in the self. That's the goal, and that's the practice, and that's what we are trying to do. So with calm awareness, yogis discriminate between the eternal and the temporary. So in today's video, we're going to hear on Krishnananda. So talking about how we progress. We've been progressing. We've been on the path. We've been progressing. And where we are going, where this is going to take us. So we're going to quiet our minds and hearts and abide a moment and hear these words and enjoy the darshan of this enlightened teacher that we are so blessed to have. After that, we get to have one of our long meditations, which you know, for a while. Enjoy.
Greetings. I hope you're doing well. This talk, Yoga Seeing, is one of my favorite talks, included in this series of Guruji's favorite talks. I hope you enjoy them all. I love them. I think they're really important and helpful and quite varied, quite fascinating to me. I hope they're fascinating to you, of course. So, yogis see in a particular way. And if you want to be a yogi and enjoy the benefits of yoga, you'll learn to see this way too. At first, you may be naive. We'll acknowledge that. and see everything just because you're feeling so wonderful, you might not be able to discern as acutely as you will need to. But with development and with practice, and just do this procedure, you'll find it's a wonderful way to live. It's a wonderful way to relate to the world, and you'll love your loved ones even more. Shall we talk about the eyes of a yogi, cultivating the eyes of a yogi? As it says in the Bhagavad Gita, we have come into this world to avail ourselves of all the happenings here, and thereby develop ourselves for enlightenment. As we become enlightened, our miseries become fewer and fewer. Cessation, or the stopping of misery, corresponds to how much ignorance you remove. Cessation of misery corresponds to the removal of spiritual ignorance. How do we do this? One way, in part, is by seeing the way a yogi sees. It's called tattva darshana, and tattva-darsana. Tattva darshana, I know you say I'm putting an H after S, but I've got Bengali training in my background, and whenever there's an S, you usually put an SH there. So that's not true in every case, but most of them. Tattva darshana is seeing into the reality of things in the view of yoga. We human beings are seeking to have a correct understanding of things. And to the extent that our understanding of things is accurate or perfect, we adjust to this deeper understanding and we have a better life because we see and know at a higher level. Yoga seeing lights the way on the path. Life is a series of experiments to get at the permanent, the ongoing, the eternal, in preference to the impermanent. And yoga seeing is very helpful. Many things in nature are unreal or unreliable, while seeming to be real and reliable. So here it is. You ready? We learn to look at life. Here's the method. This is the most important sentence in my talk. We learn to look at life while centering in the inner self. That's it. Centering in your soul as best you can. Look at others. Look at the world. Centering in your inner self, your spiritual core. So we develop a calm mind and look at life as it unfolds. We look at people and events with a pure consciousness. Our mind does not waver when we're fixed in the self, in the soul. We are all calmness. Remaining unruffled by the evanescent events that come and go, that disappear, remaining unruffled by the changeable events in our life, reveals the clarity of our understanding. We become a person of steady wisdom and fit for immortality when we have this way of seeing. With calm awareness, we look around and distinguish what changes, what comes and goes. We distinguish the eternal from what falls and fades away. We're striving to make that distinction and be aware of it as we look at life, as we look at others. What seems to be real now is only a modification of the elements. We calmly discern between what changes or passes away. We distinguish that from what doesn't change or pass away. We calmly discern between what changes or passes away from what doesn't change or pass away. So we look at our bodies They come and go. Homes, possessions, cities, and recognize they change and pass away. We just know it's true. We bear that in mind when we're seeing. Pleasure and pain come and go. Wealth comes and goes. Unfortunately, the people in our life come and go too, as do you and I. We come and go. Hopefully we have long, fulfilling lives, but we come and go too. The world changes every day, especially these days. Do you know of anything in the universe that isn't changing or coming and going? Like Buddhists, yogis look out at the world calmly and behold impermanence, often calling it unreal or unlasting. Yoga seeing is this calmness and centering, which recognizes that everything in the phenomenal universe is impermanent, modifying, changing, coming and going. So let's just take a moment to do this. Sensing your soul and being aware of it as best you can, centering in the heart chakra or the third eye or crown of the head. Those are the easiest places. We're going to just be aware of one of those contacts with soul and look at the world. Yoga seeing is the calmness and centering, which recognizes everything in the phenomenal universe is impermanent, modifying, changing, coming and going. Sensing the soul. You can close your eyes, sense your soul as best you can. It's the place you go when you meditate. And open your eyes and gaze at the world, sensing permanent and impermanent, changing or unchanging. And you're developing yoga seeing. Let's take a moment here. Let's take a break here. Just feel free to do this practice as long as you like. So just take your time with it. Just sense your soul, and with your soul active in your awareness, look at things. That's basically all you need to do, and it will develop. It develops so much that you look at the world and recognize there are so many changes, that the world is impermanent. You begin to sense spirit as permanent and the world is changing, coming and going. But not only that, you have the same attitude about what is within you. In your senses, their sensitivity comes and goes. They are often deceptive. Our senses often deceive us too. The mind, our thoughts and feelings come and go, our emotions. In this same manner, centering in the soul, when you close your eyes and you're pondering your senses and your mind and your emotions and your ego, your sense of self, you'll sense, or you'll be aware they are changing and impermanent also. And you'll begin to sense your permanent soul, the permanent spiritual core. This includes our states of wakefulness, dream, and sound sleep. They come and go. So, right now we're letting a plane pass overhead. There it goes. What is left when you see with a yogi's eyes? What is left? Well, you'll begin to see it too. Spirit, essence, God, spirit within you, the soul. What remains is pure awareness. Awareness is the permanent reality. Awareness is this spirit which is manifesting the universe. The universe appears and disappears. You're sensing this reality out of which the universe, the stars, the galaxies come and go. And it's a vast thing to ponder. I mean, universes, we talk in light years, We talk in the sun being so near us compared to other galaxies. Well, just look in our own galaxy and wonder. So the thought that those are coming and going is staggering. The main thing is, while you're using your eyes, have your soul open. Just be aware from your soul while you watch the world and watch your loved ones, watch whatever else you want to watch. The ocean of infinite existence, consciousness, bliss is ever unaffected by the phenomenal. This pure consciousness, pure spirit is expressing these forms, but it lets the forms come and go. You want to experience the pure spirit, the essence of everything, often called the substratum, the place from whence come the forms, the beautiful underlying spirit. So it has to be experienced, but it is so much fun to practice it a while and begin to, from your soul, see other people. You'll know them in a greater way than you ever imagined. Yoga seeing is being so calm, so centered, you're like an ocean watching and playing with your waves. You are spirit, manifesting people and stars and forms, critters. It's just exciting. You feel and discover you're like a magician doing magic tricks, doing appearances. You're a puppeteer in your outer mind and body. Your spirit using the outer mind and the body to express spirit. You're the gardener of a wondrous garden. All of these are worth pondering. You are spirit untouched by time, space, cause and effect. It's enchanting and freeing, so liberating and fascinating to see like a yogi, to notice more and more of the change and the impermanence, to look at people and see their magnificent soul, the spiritual essence within them. It's more beautiful than Niagara Falls, which is very beautiful. But is yoga seeing then just looking at your friends, family, the people on TV with the keen awareness, you're a goner? No, not at all. We can see who you really are. The permanent, eternal you, the glorious you. Clearing our mind and heart, we see the permanent essence of you from the permanent essence of me. Soul to soul, we see one another. We see the everlasting self of you, the Spirit of God within you. When we pronam, we are thinking and saying, my soul bows to your soul. When you do it, sense your soul and the soul of the other. My soul bows to your soul. And practice lots of pronaming. I acknowledge, I respect, I honor, I appreciate the spirit in you. That's yoga seeing. Yoga aspirants, devotees on the path, want to live at this level. You can start now. We want a divine, enriching, enchanting life. Spirit to spirit, soul to soul, at home, at work, at play. To see spiritually with the eyes of a yogi. And yogis think this discovery of the permanent essence beyond the impermanent forms and personalities, this is what life is all about. Growing in awareness of spirit and what's happening, what's going on. We've come into this world to avail ourselves of all the happenings here and thereby discipline ourselves for enlightenment. Life is a series of experiments to get at the permanent in preference to the impermanent. Many people and things in nature are unreal and unreliable, or are going away, are changing and going, while seeming to be real, seeming to be reliable. It's wonderful to walk every day, soul open, seeing people from your essence into their essence. It's best to do this in silence at first, to be aware, but later on you can have a conversation while still being in this state. Yoga seeing. Yoga seeing also educates the ego, our false sense of self, to be less and less in charge. It's just the ego gets more and more out of the way because the practice is so enjoyable. In order to develop yoga sight and experience divine life, to see the play of life, affirm the divine play, Ramakrishna used to say, you need to grow in, obviously, what Raja and Jnana yogis call bhava. So in Bhakti Yoga, a bhava is a mood of love, you and God just absorbed in awareness and love of one another, letting the world fall away. That's a bhava to a bhakti yogi. But in Raja and Jnana yoga, they mean pure, clear consciousness. You're in a bhava when your consciousness is free of thoughts and most feelings. Clear consciousness. I say most feelings because if you're in the state of peace, you're feeling peace, or if you're in bliss, you're feeling bliss. That's fine. But just otherwise, you want to have this clarity where you're not thinking and you're not emoting or remembering. You're just clear. So Raja and Jnana Yoga say this state of pure, clear consciousness is bhava, B-H-A-V-A. Awareness untouched by time, space, or cause and effect. Awareness untouched by time, space, or causation. For example, in peace, bliss, unconditional love, serenity, ever-new joy, in pure awareness unaffected by the physical universe, by matter, by mind, or phenomena. From your eternal, indestructible self, you see out. You look. In a bhava, you can have yoga seeing. It's easiest to develop this yoga seeing and the bhava involved in soul-to-soul seeing. Sense your soul, sense the other person's soul, and gradually you'll have very beautiful, wondrous experiences. Soul-to-soul seeing. Just silently pronaming or actually physically pronaming, if they know what that's about. So usually just hands out of the way. Soul-to-soul seeing. Practice that. Also develop witness consciousness. Witness the world, best to go to a playground, witness the playground. When you're seeing it all while being a witness, not getting involved, just witnessing it. Then close your eyes, witness your thoughts and feelings and memories Let them go. Just get to the pure witness. You're abiding as a witness, and you're free of images, thoughts, feelings. You're just in a beautiful, serene state. So practicing witness consciousness leads to yoga seeing. When you meditate and you shed progressively thoughts and feelings, and you just let them go, let them go, let them go, let them go, that shedding practice is very helpful to yoga seeing. Otherwise, your ego has opinions about everything, is judging everybody, is actively keeping you from yoga seeing. You want clarity. You don't want opinions. You don't want projections and imaginations and fantasies that result. Just clear. Shed, let it go. It comes back. You let it go again. Clear. And just cultivate your bhava. Cultivate this clear state. Cultivate pure awareness. Cessation of misery corresponds to removal of ignorance and leads to awareness of spirit itself. It doesn't come right away, awareness of spirit, but spirit awakens within you and shows you spirit everywhere. In conclusion, see like a yogi. I love the words of Joseph Conrad, the great writer. My desire, as a great writer he was, my desire, my goal as a writer is to help you see. I would like you to have the privilege of sensing your soul as you see and begin to see the world more and more wonderfully. Enjoy the fact that you have a soul and have a pair of eyes and have an opportunity to see the world the way a yogi can see. God bless you.
Hare
if you'd like to, to lower your heart, love yourself up. Lord, with thy Spirit, fill us. Anande Raho, may we live in divine joy eternally. So go have a lovely week, and may we all see more clearly through the eyes of the Yogi. Thank you all. And there's snacks in there, and I have a chair like that to bring up from the car that I can't do. If somebody would be willing to help me, I'd appreciate it.